I've got friends that play in bands that wrote a song that was just fun in the moment and became wildly successful, and they hate playing it night after night. But, for me, Dare You to Move is still a song that means the world to me. I sing it, and I still mean it, and every night, some nights more than others, it hits me in new ways.
Interesting, and tell us a little bit about how that song hit you, and I'm just curious.
Well, it's a song that's looking for something. I feel like that song is written from the perspective of a prize fighter that's on his back, and he's been knocked out, and they're counting down whether he's going to stay in it or not. And we all are knocked down from time to time, and that's nothing spectacular. The question is whether you get back up, and that becomes a question for all of us that we answer with our lives, with the way that we live them out day in and day out. And so I think that's why perhaps it stays relevant, for me, night after night, because it still has that motion. It's still asking the question, still daring me and everyone else in the room to get up and try again.
That's great. So have you ever been in the middle of the song where you start singing it to yourself, like, hey? Yeah,
absolutely. That song and Meant to Live, for me, are both, they're written, not written in the first person, but I think of them as kind of almost singing to my soul to some extent. And, Meant to Live is challenging for me, again, night after night. And I think that those types of feelings were things that we wanted to make sure were a part of these new songs. And I think one of the words that you could categorize would be those songs would be a word, hope. And hope is something that you can't say you got it in your back pocket, because it's almost something that you haven't quite got yet. Hope is looking to the future. It's looking to a world that doesn't exist yet. And so when you're hoping, you're yearning, you're fighting, you're hoping for something bigger than yourself. And that was I think a very, very conscious decision that all the songs that we put on this record would have that element,
Well, I mean, there's no question, the fruit is as sweet and has as much depth as the soil that it comes from. And I was actually just listening to a song today from your solo album, or a series of albums, which is unbelievable. And for anyone who hasn't gotten Jon Foreman's solo albums, just get it. It's really unbelievable. And songs that I've heard many times, I hear a completely new part to it. And we don't have time tonight, but the songs are, I don't know if I like the music better or the words, but it's the two together that really gang up on you and definitely inspire you to think better and to do your best to live and love more. Now, I've always appreciated your style of show on the road, not just during the show, but even after the show. I forget what you call it, but when you invite the audience to come hang out at like a local coffee shop what do you call that again?
It's very cleverly titled The After Show.
The After Show, that's it. No, but, I just think I've heard from a lot of people that after an incredible show, that, you're just not done yet, and you've got more in you that you want to give, and you invite them to the cleverly named After Show at like a local coffee shop. And, there is a difference when people love what they do and they do it as a part of a mission, not just a job. But tell us a little bit about your shows and how they're a little different, and in some cases, the after shows.
Yeah, I have a profound amount of respect for people like Bob Dylan that play in spite of the crowd, where they do their thing no matter what the crowd wants. And they've got such a planned ownership of who they are and what songs they want to play that night that they're going to play it no matter who's there, no matter what people want. That's admirable, but I think that is completely different than what we're trying to accomplish during the evening. For us, for me, music has always been community. Even when I was a kid, going to the punk rock shows around San Diego, it was always about the friendships that you had within the people there, and going to see your friends play live, and I think that was a big part of the intentionality of who we are as a band. We love the feeling at the end of the night where you leave the stage and everyone in the crowd is singing without any PA, without any microphones, any lights. It's this truly organic experience where the room has been transformed from dirty rock and roll club to a community, a true community. And so that is really our intentionality. Many nights I'll go out into the crowd to try and break down the barrier between the stage and the crowd, because I feel that we are all there together. I'm always humbled to be the one that's actually singing the songs in a microphone, because I'm sure there's many voices that are stronger than mine, and so to be able to have hundreds or thousands of people singing these words along with you, that's a desire at the end of the night, to feel like somehow you've broken that down and you've made the stage the same level playing ground as the audience. You're all in it together.
Yeah, and I mean, no matter what venue you're in, that is, I think, part of what makes your shows extraordinary. I mean, some shows, it's just these huge productions, but, not as much heart. And I think regardless of the level of production, because your production varies depending on the venue, but there's always a big heart. And it's infectious. Now, what about the after shows? Tell us a little bit about that.
So the after shows are my excuse to play all the songs that I didn't get to play in the show. I love playing music, and so you're in the middle of a town where a few people maybe, but chances are you probably don't know anyone, and you're going to be there until the bus rolls at 2 in the morning, and you might as well make the most of it. Let's play some more music. That's the intentionality behind the after shows, and I think the solo EPs and all that kind of sprang to life from there, where it feels like that's the perfect vibe for those kind of intimate songs, And yeah, it's just kind of, I love music enough to play 2 sets a night.
I love that. Because no matter what you do, when you do it with everything you have and with passion, it's a way to express your gratitude for all the gifts you've been given. And, it definitely is contagious. And I caught that bug when I spent a few days with you guys at your house, which is also now the location of the studios in the back, right? That place behind the house?
No, actually, we got this warehouse that we actually bought and put all our gear in. We wanted complete autonomy